Marsh creation, step by step, produced by QIPRA, the Coastal Wetlands Planning, Protection, and Restoration Act. Just off the coast of central Louisiana, at the east end of Marsh Island, lies a fragile ecosystem that exemplifies the current crisis of wetland loss. It also offers an example of current coastal restoration techniques in action. Hurricane activity has caused this area to suffer some of the greatest loss of land along the Louisiana coastline. As a result, East Marsh Island was selected for a marsh creation project under the Coastal Wetlands Planning, Protection, and Restoration Act, or QIPRA. The project creates more than 360 acres of new marsh and nourishes an additional 500 acres of existing but endangered marsh. But how, exactly, can new marsh be created or enhanced? Step by effective step, with close collaboration among scientists, environmental engineers, and construction specialists. The first action to create marsh is to identify an accessible source of sediment.
Well, we do a tremendous amount of geotechnical investigation. We try to first locate an area that's within a reasonable distance of our marsh creation site, which is usually around a 5 to 6 mile range. And then we'll take soil samples, borings, and so forth to look at the material, determine if it's suitable for marsh creation.
The next and critical step in the process is the evaluation of soil type and particle size of the new sediment.
Well, we're looking more for a fine-grained material, which would be more of a clay or a silty material, because that supports the vegetation, has more nutrients in it, and it creates a better platform to support the vegetation.
The site must then be prepared for sediment delivery. Construction workers scoop soil from inside the marsh creation site, pile it up along the construction site's perimeter, and shape it into flat-topped containment dikes. More than 4 miles of dikes were constructed for this project. These dikes will hold the sediment once it is delivered, allowing the particles to settle.
Because this material we're working with has so much silt and clay into it, it doesn't stay in one place. So before we even start pumping, we have to build these containment dikes on the outside. And then we pump the material in and it's like a big muddy soup.
Sediment is then dredged from the borrow site and mixed with water to form slurry that can easily be pumped through a pipeline to the project site, filling the open water area to the desired depth.
The sediment is coming from Côte Blanche Bay, about 6 miles east of here. It's a slurry with probably about 70% water and 30% solids or soil that's actually being pumped in here.
There's a large cutter device on the end of the suction pipe, and all it is a huge vacuum cleaner type deal. It picks up the material, runs it through the pipe and the pump, and we're disposing of it about 24,000 feet from where we're at now, taking out about 40,000 cubic yards of material a day.
Sediment settles to the bottom of the fill area, and water runs off through weirs and gaps in the containment dikes.
During the engineering and design phase, a substantial effort is undertaken to identify what would be an ideal or target final marsh elevation. For this particular project at the construction phase for the marsh creation, sediment was being pumped to approximately 3.5 feet with the expectation that that sediment will settle over the initial 2 to 3 years to approximately 1.8 feet as a healthy marsh platform.
Sediment is used to create new wetlands and nourish existing habitats. Marsh nourishment is an important part of restoration because it protects emergent and endangered marshlands.
The second component of the project, which is the marsh nourishment, is an effort to pump additional material unconfined, not to a specific target elevation, but to bring in a layer of sediment to nourish and help the existing remnant marsh that was here thrive.
Finally, part of the restored area will be left to revegetate naturally, and hand plantings will be used to speed growth. And in 1 to 3 years, the new marsh platform will be supporting healthy marsh plants.
after that, it'll be able to support itself and maintain itself over a period of time into the future. And then it'll continue to be monitored for a 20-year period, and we have a mechanism to come back in and do maintenance.
For the East Marsh Island project, this step-by-step process has been so effective, the restoration construction was completed within 8 months.
This type of marsh creation project will benefit a variety of wildlife. This refuge, one of the primary purposes is managing for waterfowl. At any given time, you'll see approximately 50,000 ducks during peak migratory season and a variety of other things that inhabit the area. We have close to 70,000 acres for alligators, rabbits, and deer use some of the little higher ridges. We have a very high diversity of wildlife on the refuge.
The Quipra Marsh Island project is only one example of coastal restoration success in Louisiana. To learn more about Quipra, visit www.lacoast.gov.